Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. So in this video I just wanted to kind of talk about my rating with PTSD, and then again I start out usually telling you my full disclaimer. I don't work for the Department of Veterans Affairs. I absolutely don't. My affiliation to the VA is only as a veteran, and I'm not a DAV rep, I'm not a VSO rep, or any of those things. I'm just giving my experiences of my VA journey with other veterans. That is it. So just kind of put that out there, because for some reason I get messages that ask me questions as if I'm trying to say that I'm the end all be all. That is not what these videos are about. And if I haven't been clear on anything that I've said, if you comment below, just let me know, and I can definitely elaborate on whatever I wasn't clear on. So with that, I wanted to talk about my PTSD. And I know I've seen where some people was like, yeah, I'm 100%, I'm this, I'm that. PTSD is a really serious diagnosis, and a lot of things traumatic has happened to veterans, irregardless if you deployed or if you didn't. So now for my PTSD, I was still in the United States Army, and I was married. Well, I was getting married to another soldier at the time. So not knowing, you really kind of don't know a person's history, whether they're in the military or not, because military people got their stuff going on as well as not military people. So when me and my late husband got together, there were things that I didn't know about his past, and we got together, we got married, and I want to say about a month, maybe a month or so after we got married, because prior to us getting married, I think he had orders to go to Texas or somewhere, but I didn't have orders. So once we got married, Army couple program, it doesn't move that fast. So it's not going to be boom, 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 you turn around and then you're leaving too. So he was getting stationed somewhere else, which it wasn't going to be right away. We got married, and about a month after we got married, he committed suicide in front of me. So I was I think I was a specialist at the time. I might have been a PFC. I think I was a PFC or a specialist at the time, and I lived off base. So it was the worst and most scariest experience of my whole entire life. And the one thing that I told my first sergeant and my command and all of them, the one thing that I didn't have any fear of was that he wanted to hurt me, because he had no intentions, and I could just see it in his face that maybe he just had something else going on. So after he did that, I think my chain of command moved me into, I think it was like guest housing. I stayed there for weeks. I had 2 children, 5-year-old and a 7. I think, yeah, my son was about 7 to 8 and my daughter was about 5. So it was just a lot. And I absolutely don't wish it on anybody. Not realizing what I know now, what I should have done then, as far as like talking to someone and getting counseling. Because me being a black woman, I had in my mind that I'll be okay. Brush it off, funeral, come back. My psychiatrist actually got me, I had some leave, so they gave me like 2 weeks off just to kind of get my head right. And I should have known, anytime I got up in the morning, I was closing blinds, I didn't want to see anybody. You know, I functioned within my household, and I should have known then. And yeah, maybe I should have talked to somebody, and I didn't. So saying that to say, anybody who has experienced anything traumatic, whether it be suicide or anything else, the one thing that I can say, because now I have other things that stem from this event that definitely need to go talk to somebody. So while I was in still, I got diagnosed with the PTSD. I left, my first duty station was Fort Riley, Kansas, and then I went overseas. I went overseas for about 4.5 years. So in that time, it's a whole bunch of other things happening. I managed to deploy. I did get remarried a few years later. You know, I did a lot of things overseas. I had a child. So a lot of things at that time, my box was fine. Like, if there was nothing outside of my box that was making me feel any other kind kind of way. So came back to the States, got settled at Fort Bragg, and prior to getting out at Fort Bragg was when I did my ETS physical. So at that time, when I went to go talk to the VA rep, they had my information in the system already because he was a soldier. So from the time that he passed away, which was 1999, to the time I came back from Germany, which was like 2005, they had been trying to locate me because, yeah, I forgot, as a spouse of a deceased veteran, you're entitled to get DIC. So did not know it. So as I'm working my way to get out the military, then I start getting these letters from the VA. Hey, you know, they had been sending me checks, but the checks were being sent back. Nobody cashed the checks. So come to find out, I had DIC checks that I didn't even know about. So now fast forward into 2007, I get out. Now mind you, when I got out, I didn't claim PTSD because in my mind at that time, I felt like I was fine. You know, I had my little anger, and I should have realized my little anger was a lot of anger compared to the average person. Didn't think about it. Fast forward a couple of more years. So in 2011, I actually started talking to somebody because, like, I think my fuse was just extremely short, and I realized back then when it initially happened, I absolutely should have been talking to somebody, and I did not. So my first diagnosis with PTSD was when I was in the military, but now the first time I actually sat down and talked with somebody, because while I was in the military, they sent me to anger management. I went to that class for a couple of days, and then that was it, because I was like, this is not what I need. This is not. And then my leadership was like, yeah, well, you know, you don't want to go to the psychiatry because then they put that in your records. Yeah, I should have had them. Even though that psychiatrist that I talked to that one time diagnosed me with PTSD, I should have let them schedule me appointments and talk to somebody, because now I had it bottled up inside for so many years that by the time 2012 came around, I started having panic attacks. Now bridges completely stressed me out. I had medication to like kind of calm me down. It's just so many different things that I have going on that if I had kind of initiated all of this while I was in, I could probably be a little more under control right now as opposed to how I am. So now I absolutely go and sit down and talk to my psychiatrist, and because we are not really going in the office, I video or we just kind of talk on the phone, and then I know it's a lot of things like I'm not used to. I don't like change. You know, if anybody is being seen at the VA, you know, sometimes your doctor changed. Well, I had an amazing psychiatrist, then she left. So now I done had to deal with 2 other doctors that I feel like I'm just not comfortable with them. So I think on my side of the house, dealing with my PTSD and my panic attacks, you know, the VA absolutely are going to give you medicine. And yeah, I don't want to have to take medicine for the rest of my life. I want to learn how to manage not having a panic attack if I'm going over a bridge, because my first panic attack was going over a bridge in Virginia, Chesapeake Bay Tunnel Bridge. And I don't know if you guys know, but that bridge is 2 tunnels, 1, 2, 3 bridges, and it's 24 miles. That's the first time I initially had a panic attack. And now I'm just like, I don't even feel like, I feel like going over bridges is not my forte. So I realized initially my PTSD might have been like at this level, and over the years, keeping it in the back of my head, it just slowly started creeping up to where it's at now. So, and my initial rating was 30% PTSD when I was initially diagnosed in 2011. And like I said, I got out in 2007, so I didn't even claim it when I got out in my ETS. Then in 2012 was when I started having panic attacks. So in 2012 was when they bumped me up to 50%. And then by 2017, 16, 2012, 13, 14 or 15, one of those dates was when I actually constantly was talking to a doctor and being prescribed medication to kind of calm me down. And you know, my anxious and angriness in the car driving to work, I'm like, oh my God, I have 0 patience now. So the medicine kind of actually calms me down. And since I haven't had to get in my car since March to go outside, it's been a little bit better in the house. I'm not really as anxious in my house around my family. But like having to go out to the store, oh, it's a motherfucker. I'm just saying. So these were the events that led up to my PTSD and being diagnosed. And most veterans do know, if you have a traumatic incident that occurs while you are on active duty, that can be claimed. So anything that happens to you on active duty, you definitely can put that and can claim it on any of your claims that you put in. So I wasn't thinking of none of this during the time or even after when I got out, and I realized, wow, that traumatic and I should have known, because every year around the same time I would just kind of be down. Like, it was always that same time of the year. To this day, I have zero energy. And my mind is always somewhere else. And then I have bad dreams. And so I should have kind of known. But you brush things off and think that you're going to be okay. Or you're going to be fine. I'm fine. I can handle this. No, I cannot. So now I definitely go and talk to someone as much as I can and as often as I can, so that I can keep myself at a calmer pace. I don't want to be erratic all over the place, angry, mad at the whole world. I don't want that, because the older I get, and now I'm hitting 50, the older I get, the more I need to be on a calmer slope, because stress will kill an old person. I'm fucking getting old, so I know I need to bring it down. So I just wanted to kind of share with you guys my rating of PTSD, what the incident was, because I know people make comments, oh, you're 100%. Look, I have been through a lot, and I don't judge nobody's plight. I don't know what your experiences is, but I know what mine is. And anybody, anywhere, I don't judge. So thank you so much for kind of tuning in, just to kind of get an idea about PTSD. And I think I also talked about my ratings, and then I also have another video that I talked about my road to getting to 100%. So thank you so much for watching. Again, I'm Leisha Nicole, and the disclaimer as well, I'm not a DAV rep, I'm not a VSO rep, I'm just another veteran, just talking to other veterans about my experience. And if you have any questions, hit me below. I'm more than happy to give you what advice or what suggestions or what ideas I may have that can help you. So thank you so much for watching. Thanks so much. Have a great day.